sunshines, and welcome back to another video. If you're new, thank you so much for joining. My name is Jaala, and if you're returning, then thank you so much for coming back. Okay, so if you're new here, then I am an Australian who is currently living abroad in China, and I've been living in China now for a year and 3 months, so it's gone very fast, but I'm actually approaching the end of my China chapter very soon in about 1 month. So I wanted to sort of do a little China wrapped video today, and I wanted to talk about moving abroad, the pros and cons of moving abroad, some things that I'm going to really miss about China and my life here, and then some things that I'm really excited for about when I get back to Australia. So if that's something that you're interested in, then I'd love for you to stick around, grab a drink. I've got my water here, and yeah, we can just rip straight into it. And if you're currently living abroad or planning to live abroad, please let me know down below. Or if you're also an expat living in China, then let me know if you agree with anything that I'm saying in this video. I suppose I will just start with, let's just start off on a positive note. And we'll talk about all the things that I feel like I've gained by moving from Australia to China. And these probably are things that might be applicable to just leaving your hometown or leaving your country. They may not be China specific, but I haven't lived anywhere else, so we're just going with China for right now. And I've also got my computer here, so if I'm looking down a little bit, then that's why. Starting off strong, the thing that I probably am most grateful that I've gained is learning a new language. If you've seen my other videos, you would know that I am trying my best to learn Chinese, and it is something that I want to continue post China life when I'm back in Australia and beyond. It's a skill that I'm really determined and motivated to keep practicing and learning. And honestly, just the opportunity to be immersed in the language in every aspect of your life, hearing it, seeing it, using it, is something that I think cannot be. It's just so cool to have the opportunity to do that, because I think in Australia and other native English speaking countries, we are so blessed that we have this skill of this really universal language, but it also does make you a little bit lazy. So the, I guess, situation to be forced to use another language or know at least a little bit is something that's really cool and I really love. Going along with that is learning about the Asian way of thinking and way of life, because a lot of the views and ways of living and things that they do are very different than what I'm used to in the West. So especially I think it's really interesting learning about health and the way that they use Chinese medicine and the way that they think about the body and view food as medicine and all of that. I find that really interesting, and it's definitely something that has opened my views a lot and made me think about things a little bit more, especially in how we do things in the West and our customs and cultures. I think I've definitely developed a little bit of a habit of certain things now that I'm probably going to keep with me post China. The next thing is something that you just get as you go along, but it's just the confidence that I have in myself now that I'm going to be okay. Everything is going to work out. Things are not as big and scary as they may seem. Even in terms of like navigating a new transport system or a payment method or trying to buy something or go somewhere, all those things you sort of gain a level of confidence when you're able to figure them out yourself, or you're even able to ask someone for help to figure out the problem. And that just comes with being in an uncomfortable and new environment. And so that is something that I'm really grateful for, and definitely has given me confidence when I do want to go traveling and working abroad again, is that I will have this little nugget of confidence that I figured it out in China, I can figure it out here as well. Have I had a booger in my nose this whole time? Let me just have a quick drink break. This is your water break sign as well. Okay, the next one is a really fun one, and it's probably only applicable to really Australians, but it's being able to travel Australia is really far from basically every other country aside from New Zealand and Antarctica, but the ability to be in Asia and having Southeast Asia and other countries so close has been amazing. So I've gone from only visiting one country before China to now I think I'm about on my seventh. I've been able to travel to other cities in China, so Beijing, Suzhou, Hangzhou, Shanghai, and I've also been able to go to Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. Just being so close to other neighboring countries, the flights are very cheap. It's quite affordable to travel in Southeast Asia. So that's something that has been really cool and was definitely one of the main reasons that I did want to move abroad and take this job with Club Med. So if you don't know, I also have a week in my life video of me as a GO in Club Med that you can watch. I'll link it up here. So here's one that I always have wanted, and I'm so glad that I can say that I have it now, is a new community of friends that are from all over the world. Now I know if I go to so many different places, even if my friend is not physically in that country, they will be able to give me advice or tips or connect me with someone. Or yeah, it's just really cool now to say like, oh, I have a friend here. When I go here, I can visit them, or something like that. And having a network based in China, if and when I do want to come back to China, I'll know people. That's something I'm very, very grateful for. The next thing is being in a new country. It's forced me to sort of adapt and reevaluate my skills and also highlight skills that I did not even know were skills. For example, I didn't know that learning English and teaching English was a skill, and in China it's very, very highly valued. So I actually got my English teaching certificate while I was in China. I haven't used it, but the option is there. The jobs are very stable, high paying, very well respected here and in other countries. So the ability to upskill and get new qualifications and leverage your skills is something that I've also learned while being in China. So next, I'm going to talk about the things that I personally have missed out on and the things that sort of suck about being away. And I think I'm going to lump in this with the things I'm excited for about when I go back to Australia. So let's just run through these rapid fire. So for me personally, one big thing that I've missed in this stage in my life is being able to celebrate my friends getting engaged, having babies, my best friend's engagement party, helping her plan a wedding. Like all those things are things that I've really missed and I've had to sacrifice and compromise on in order to get these experiences that I've just talked about, which it just depends whether it's something you're willing to sacrifice, really. And I knew that leaving home, that these were things I was going to miss out on, was time with friends and family and milestone events. But it's so hard because you sort of have to be selfish. It's a selfish decision and it's just about what you're going to get the most value out of. But it does sting. Like the first time I remember I was actually in Beijing and it was the day I was going to visit the Great Wall of China, which is something that has been on my bucket list. Like, you're going to see one of the 7 wonders of the world. And I was crying because it was also my best friend's engagement party that day. And I obviously wasn't able to be there. So it's just a real push-pull situation. But it does get a little bit easier. And FaceTime, phone calls, technology, being able to send gifts, like all that does help. But yeah, it just sucks and there's no real way around that, but just be aware that that is something that you're going to have to you're going to have to sacrifice. Unless you're living like 2-3 hours away from your friends and family, then obviously a plane flight might be a little bit easier, but for me it's like a 12-14 hour flight. So yeah. What have I got here? Oh yeah, so I've talked about like missing out on friends and family important events. Now these are some things that I'm going to be really excited for about when I go back to Australia. Number 1, if you know me, breakfast is my thing. I could literally eat breakfast food for every meal of the day. So an Australian breakfast with a good coffee, I just cannot wait. Oh my God, brunch, avocado, sourdough, poached eggs, just brekkie burger, give it all to me. Give it all to me. I'm so excited about it. I've been able to recreate it here, but it's just not the same as a nice hot girl walk in a cafe, is it? It's just, there's something about it, and I haven't really been able to find that here. I've been able to find similar things, but it's not the same. It's not the same. To go along with that is the active lifestyle. If you've watched my vlogs, you would have seen I go to a group fitness class in Shanghai called Rise, but that's a big time investment for me. It's expensive, but it's worth it. So the active lifestyle is something that I'm really going to miss about Australia. What am I trying to say? That is something that I'm going to be really excited for about when I go back to Australia, is just a lot more people out walking, exercising, being active. People do that here, but it's more quiet. I don't know how to describe it. It's just not as common to see someone like running or group fitness. There are gyms here, but there's no like CrossFit or like group fitness things. There is some reformer Pilates and stuff. Like, my city's not in the middle of nowhere, but it's definitely not as common. It's still quite emerging. Is the weather here is not bad, but the air pollution, and it's not even like I notice the air pollution. It's just more in my head. I wonder what it's doing to my body over time, because it's not healthy to look outside your window some mornings and barely be able to see the next building because the air pollution is so bad. And I know that's not specific to China. It's in a lot of places now, but yeah, just the fresh, clean air. And I got a taste of that when I went to Thailand and Malaysia. So I'm really excited to have that again. The next one, no VPN. Oh my gosh. Do you know how excited I'm going to be to just be able to not have to think about, oh, is my VPN on? Is it working? It's blocking a Chinese app. Turn on, turn off. Are my friends not replying? Or is it just the VPN? Oh, paying for a VPN, not being able to watch my shows. I'm so excited to just be able to be in the free world again. That's all I'm going to say on that. Is, again, food related, but it's the pastry and the cakes. They're just not the same here. Their taste palette is very different. They don't like sweets as much. So the cakes here, to me, just taste like watered down, and they're just not my favorite. So I'm really excited for a good croissant, a good like Nutella cookie, brownie, Brookie Bakehouse. I'm coming for you. So yeah, very excited. Then the last thing that I'm really excited for about, but this one is sort of a flip, which I'm going to caveat into my next category, but is I'm excited to go back to somewhere that there is no real language barrier and things are really easy for me to navigate. Because while I said I like being immersed in a new language, when you're trying to do everyday tasks like banking, shopping, give someone directions, call someone, when they cannot speak your language, it does get quite difficult and it's just a lot harder. Okie dokie. Now, the last category I want to talk about today is the things I'm going to miss about China and that I really like about China, because this is not a bashing China video. Oh my God. So the first one, I'm just going to flip that and say I'm going to miss being able to use my Mandarin and practice my Mandarin every day, because I know when I go back home, I'm going to have to really, really try, and I'm going to be able to call my friends and whatever. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. Going to miss having another culture and just being able to practice my skills every day. It's going to be the cost of things. In Asia in general, it's a lot more affordable than Australia, aside from Singapore. But yeah, I'm going to miss being able to get a meal and get it delivered to my house for like $7 Australian. And just the cost of, especially the cost of transport here is really, really good. And food is, yeah, a lot cheaper for the most part. It depends what you're wanting to buy. But yeah, for everyday things, fruit, vegetables, even meat, except beef, but like chicken and stuff is really affordable. And yeah, especially the public transport here is really great and it's really, really affordable. So the Didi here, which is their version of Uber, the high-speed rail, the subway, the bikes, like there's just so many options and they're all just really affordable. So I'm really going to miss that. Now, the next one is the convenience of things and online delivery. So yeah, they have food delivery for everything, shop delivery, home delivery, Taobao, which is basically Amazon. It's just so convenient. I'm really going to miss it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to harp on too much. It's going to be Alipay and WeChat, which are their payment systems, but it's more than a payment system. It's literally like you do everything. So in WeChat, you can pay for things, top up your phone, pay your electricity bill, pay your gas bill, book a flight, buy things, order food. Like it's literally all in one spot for you. You talk to everyone on there. It's just, I'm really going to miss it because it's really progressive, and just the way that it's so easy to pay for things in a group. You can just split the bill. You can quickly transfer money to everyone. It's just amazing. And I wish that everywhere in the world just used WeChat, because everyone's life would be amazing. Okay, the next one is going to be the safety. Overall, China is very, very safe. You can literally leave your car door open, go away, come back. As a woman, I never feel weird or anything walking around at night, getting on the subway. I'm really going to miss the safety of China. And I know there's crime everywhere, but it's really, really good. And people are very honest here for the most part from what I've experienced. So I'm really going to miss that. And Australia is not too bad, but especially when I go to Europe, I know it's something I'm going to have to be conscious of. The last one, which I'm going to end on, is the Chinese people, and especially the kids. They're just so curious and they're so friendly, and they just want to talk to you and know about you, why you're here, where you're from, try and practice their English. Like, I just feel like in Australia, we don't treat immigrants or people from another country that way. We're often very closed off, standoffish. From what I've experienced and what I know, is they're just so much more open here and curious, which I love. I love the kids. They're just always so happy. And yeah, that's one thing I'm really going to miss. And yeah, I hope I can bring some of that open-mindedness back to Australia and infect everyone around me with it, because people are not to be feared. Everyone is welcome, and everyone has a right to be where they are. I'm going to stop rambling now, but if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, because there'll be lots of fun content coming up. And also my packing vlog, moving back to Australia. And I'm also going to Europe then afterwards to try and get a job on the yachts. So I'm going to be documenting all of that. So literally my whirlwind life floating around the world. So if that is something that is interesting to you, then yeah, please subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos, and I will talk to you on my next one. Bye.